like this. You haven't seen this.
Catch mind-blowing deals.
Like, this is incredible when he does this. So I wanted to react to this, but I don't think I've got it in me to do a full, you know, video react. I just think I want to just highlight this bit.
And I had a relapse of influenza, right? So, yeah, it sucks that I can't do that crazy like stuff like that I'd like to, but what can you do, right? Like, I have to be realistic. And I don't think that doing a marathon right now makes any kind of sense. I gotta recover a bit, you know? Can I sit here and do a gameplay stream? Sure. I'm just sitting here playing a game. But here, I'm in costume, and I'm talking with you guys. Do we play some games? Do we take some drink? Do we eat some food? Do we do this?
Feels really annoying as well, because he's very quiet, and he always is quiet. His microphone's quiet. He's like Alan in so many ways. This microphone's a bit far away, and he's got it turned down a bit too much.
Tier maker, we do this, no breaks, keep going. Nah, I'm gonna kill myself. You know, I can't do that right now. You know what I mean? So, let's see what happens. All right, but this Halloween event is done. We're not doing it, okay? And I apologize. I know people, again, they look forward to this every year. They absolutely love it. They want
like me, or me like Phil. Phil was poorly over Halloween. So he's decided to scrap the Halloween show. Someone made him a tier list maker to do as well. He's decided to scrap that. I've just got to fix the cat.
To see me having fun in a holiday atmosphere. I know people were literally saying we cannot wait because we come to it every year. We love the costume reveal. And I hate to say it. I hate to say I told you so. But sometimes I just have a feeling about stuff. And around the end of October, I was saying to everyone on these streams, I said, I've noticed that we've got a big dip in memberships. And typically what ends up happening is at the end of October, we have this Halloween event. Why do I get the feeling that there's people who were like waiting for the Halloween event and they were going to come by and probably contribute in a big thing when the community was there, whatever. There was like big community support, right? And then what happened? I get sick and it doesn't happen. I had a feeling that something was gonna like happen because I don't know what it is. Like sometimes I just get a feeling, and I had a feeling that was gonna happen. That's why I was saying to people, hey, you want to do some gifted memberships or whatever here at the end of the month? It might make sense to do it now rather than wait. Although it's cool, you want to do it on the Halloween event. That makes sense. There'll be a lot more people here or whatever. But look what happened, right?
So you didn't tip early enough. You didn't gift the memberships quick enough this month. So Phil didn't get them because he missed the Halloween event.
So the thing is, it's over now. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's done, and we're not gonna go backwards in time. We got to move forward. You know, you don't dwell on the past. You move forward positively. So what's going on right now?
Mink, I just fed
tons of new games. 3 huge new game releases.
And this isn't even the bit where he's fucking doing the bag.
For now, until we 100% see what's going on. Halloween costume. What happened to the Halloween costumes? Were amazing. They helped a ton. They were right on par, if not a little higher than what normally you would. Better in September by a lot on YouTube than I did in October. The path back there, and I was doing really good. I had momentum going, and the months were going good, and everything was going well. And this year, financially, things were actually looking up and doing better, you know. And now, losing essentially a week of work, including a marathon that likely would have propelled and boosted me to a better level, or at least to the level where normally I would be on YouTube, and that's gone. It's just gone now, you know. So the thing is, you might say, well, this is we're going to support, we're going to rally, we're going to help Phil. Let's gift a bunch of memberships now. Well, hey, listen, yeah, that would help absolutely. That would help the community. I'm sure everyone else would appreciate that. And that would help me in the long term. But the problem now is that in the short term, I have nothing to make up for the fact that my YouTube payment will be way less this month than what it's supposed to be or usually would be around this time of year because I was sick. So this is stupid because I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of saying, oh, tips are the best way to contribute. I fucking hate saying that. I'm tired of it.
Well, then stop fucking saying it. Sort out a better income facility. Like, you've had tips over the years. You should have used them to create a situation where you're not beholden just to the tips. Like, I'm hoping to use the money to create better content so we can attract a sponsor and I can stabilize and I call it sustainability. So I can become sustainable in a process that by creating content with the money that we get from the sponsorship, we can attract enough sponsorship to create the content, and then the excess money I can have for me, and then I've created something that's sustainable. That's not, and the extra money from tips and stuff would always be very graciously and I'm very grateful for people's generosity. But on the way there, obviously, but tips is a massive thing, especially on all these social media platforms. I totally get it. But for Phil, he's had that tips money over the years, and now it's gone. So what are you complaining about? You don't want to be begging for tips all the time. Well, then I suppose get a job or make content with value that attracts interest and numbers. And like, the best thing about the tip system is the more people you have, the more tips you get, and the less people are individually forced. Like, I would say it because he's forcing people. Like, Phil's approach is to literally tell them, give me the fucking money. Like, for Phil, he should have been in a situation where he had, like, at some point, he's up to 200,000 subscribers. He should have been in a situation where if everyone just gave him $1 every now and then, he'd be fucking well off. And he was. So you use that money to then create something more sustainable than just talking on YouTube and hoping it goes well. Like, it just is insane that Phil's saying this in his situation, having had all the wonderful luck and fortune, money, success that he's had over the time. And to his audience as well, I've been poorly, I didn't do the Halloween episode, so now we're behind. Where's the fucking money?
I wanted that when you come to my stream, you don't have to hear me say, oh, please tip me, because tipping is the best way, and I get it right away. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm the fucking streamer, and I'm sick and tired of it. I want to fucking say it ever again. But it's like, why is it that this keeps happening?
So what he's doing is he's turning it onto the audience. He's saying, look, I'm tired of asking you for money. Why aren't you giving me enough money? I shouldn't have to ask. You should just deliver. What's wrong with you idiots? I've been off for Halloween. I was poorly. You know that I haven't got any money. Where's the money? When in actual fact, Phil, your complaint, you should be saying this in the mirror. This shouldn't be part of your this self-reflection and almost self-critical point that you could move on and really spur yourself to. You should say this in the mirror, and this should spur you on to making some quality content. I don't want to have to ask for tips all the time. I need to do something that's going to get a bunch of YouTube views and gain some popularity. Therefore, the tips will just make themselves. I won't have to ask for them. And on top of it, like, if I got loads of people giving me $3, that's loads of dollars. Whereas one person at the moment has to give me 300. It's not working. It's insane. And to turn it on the audience like that, I could see he was angry that he didn't have enough money there. But to then turn it on the audience is like accusing you of not giving. Why do I? It's not. I shouldn't have to ask for tips. I shouldn't have to beg for them. I should do something about it. I shouldn't have to ask for tips. I shouldn't have to beg for them. You should do something about it. And what the fuck is wrong with the man? Of course, he's a malignant narcissist. So I just realised I can probably put myself here for a little minute.
Where's my tips? I want my tippies. I want my tippies. Where's my tippies?
All right, we've done that now.
Right? That we get to the situation where, well, the only way to resolve this is short term. I need tips again. I need tips again. I need tips again. I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of saying this bullshit.
Okay, easiest fix. You put in approximately, the problem is with Phil is he puts in 3 streams a day. It's like a full-time job. It is like a full-time job. And he's not getting paid. Like, if you add up the hours you put in, and you should be doing hours behind the scenes as well, but we'll ignore those. You add up the hours you put in and the money you get. For Phil, actually, because he demands about $300 a day off his, he has tips goals. There's $50 tips goal on this stream. And there's a $50 tips goal on the next stream, and the next, and you put on the hat for $100. It gets, so he's looking for a lot of money every day. And you might want to add up the hours that you spend doing this and see if it adds up to the amount of money you would get from just working at the jeans shop with Kat. Because a minimum wage job could pay you the money that you require to be stable, and then you could stream without any financial worry, just in the evenings, but maybe get a paper round in the morning or something. Like, you could get something that's more sustainable and more like, some of us choose not to do that. And I get it for Phil hearing this, he'd say, don't be stupid. I'm a professional streamer. Taking time off streaming is not going to help my business in the long run. Okay, but having some financial stability might. Plus, you should be taking more time off streaming to improve the quality of your streams, to do research, to think about things, to prepare things so that your streams are better, but there's fewer of them. And that way you could still get the same amount of monies, but probably doing the same amount of work, but doing better quality work. And then you could attract more people. At the moment, you're on this never-ending hamster wheel of shit because you refuse to get off it and take an assessment and decide what the next reasonable step is. And reasonably, this is not, this is the shit. And it's like, if you keep getting rewarded, it's like you're on one of those hamster wheels. It's like he's on one of those things where the pigeon presses the button and it gets the food, and it presses the button and it gets the food. And increasingly, the amount of food gets smaller and smaller. This food decreasingly gets smaller, I suppose. It gets smaller, but the pigeon keeps pressing the button. Keeps pressing that button, and when the food completely runs out and there's no food, that pigeon keeps pressing that button for a grain every 6 weeks. Like, it feels at that end of things, he needs to stop pressing the button, back off, and just assess what other buttons are out there. It's a real insanity, though, that he should put this pressure on the audience. Like, if anything, he needs to work harder to get more money, and the content is not providing him the money and the sustainability. Tips is one thing, but the rest of it, you can't just say, I'm not getting tips this month, or members were down, we're fucked. It's like if I ran a business and this month I had to rely on my client book getting their hair. I used to run a hairdressing business. If I had to rely that this month 80% of the clients in that book were getting there, I mean, most of the time you do, don't you? Rely on that. But if I had like 40% of my clients cancel on me, and then my business closed overnight, then I'm running a shit business, because the money I was saving, and I didn't make loads by the end of it, I got to the point where I would have to look at spending my own money to keep my business open during the recession. I thought, this is stupid. Like, long term, I might still be here and I might be able to make that money back, but short term, I'm spending money to keep my business open. I'm paying it to the landlord to keep the business open, and there's a huge recession and things are difficult. So I called it a day before I lost money, yeah? But that ability to sustain over lulls is important. But with Phil, you can't be saying after 15 years of being on the internet, I'm in a position where I live hand to mouth week to week, and if I don't turn up, everything's fucking done. Like, that proves that everything's done. And if you were, like, imagine you go into Dragon's Den and you say, I want you to invest in my business, we're moving forward, everything, let's invest in Darksydephil. What do you want the money for? Well, I don't want to change anything really. I like doing things the way I do them. Okay, that's what Phil would say, isn't it? Let's say I came to Phil and said, I've got 50 grand to improve your streams. What would he do? I could get another picture in the background. I've always wanted to have a solid gold vest. He'd spend 50 grand on fucking WWE champions and nothing would change. So he's had that money through his hands. Nothing has changed. He has no forward future plan. He knows he's in the shit and that things are not sustainable, but he has no forward future plan, no ideas. The idea is, where's the money, dummies? And it's so offensive. Like, you thought Alan was bad. This is what I'm showing it you. Can you believe this, man? Can you believe the audacity on this man?
Because it's bullshit. I should be here to play games and have fucking fun with you, and that's it. That should be the only thing we talk about all day long. But why? But this shit just keeps happening to me at every waking fucking moment.
You don't have to, even if you've been ill all week, and I've been poorly, we've all been poorly, you can talk about it briefly if you want. And if you don't want it to be the subject of your content, you don't have to talk about it. You are in control of that. So instead of talking about it, stop. Like, right now, you could have just stopped, but instead you want the money and you want a pity party and you want to lay it on and you want to make them feel like it's their fault and that they need to give you more money. So you're going to keep doing it until you get the money, because you don't really feel these things that you say you're feeling. You're a narcissist and you're manipulating people, and you're a big baby that wants it all your own way.
Every time that I think I'm getting ahead, and every time that it feels like I'm getting ahead, and things are getting better, oh, now this fucks you over. Now this fucking happens. Now someone steals your fucking car tire off your car, and now this thing happens behind the scenes that costs.
I wonder if that was a blag for insurance, because that somebody reversed the car into something and damaged the wheel. So I think that might have been a blag for insurance. We'll say that someone stole the tire because I've cracked the rim. And anyway, you should be able to soak those things up in life. And I know it's difficult. I know you might have to, like, I don't know, use a credit card, take out a loan, short term, whatever. But you're running a business on the internet where you're making money, and you have been making money in the past, and you're not in a position after 15 years to deal with a tyre. In that case, close the business. It's not a winner. Like, I mean, Phil's got a business degree. Do I need to tell him this?
Thousands of dollars, and then this happens, and then you get sick and you can't fucking work, and then a troll fucks you over because they fucked your internet or this and that, and fuck this and fuck that. It's like, fuck.
This is just a baby throwing a tantrum with his mommy about why he couldn't, and I couldn't, and I didn't, and it wasn't my fault, and I'm a narcissist. Take accountability. You're a grown man. You've had a week off your stream. No one has given you any money because you have provided no value. You've decided to fuck off the Halloween stream, even though you could do it not on Halloween. It's too much work. I've got to run around, I've got to eat food, and I've got to sit here and play games. It's too much. Pathetic. You can give us the excuses. We don't have to give you the money.
Fuck. I've had enough, man. I've had enough.
Well, then stop.
I've had enough.
Just go and work at fucking... whatever they have, like, go and get your Costco. You've been a regular at Costco. Go and tell them what a good customer you've been and get a job there. I mean, Phil, the problem for Phil is that he's unemployable. Like, he wouldn't get through an interview. He would be himself and he would be unemployable. So he has got that problem. Like, begging is probably the only thing he's going to be able to. But he'd in honesty, he'd probably be better off begging on the street for cash. Like, he looks like, you know, just... he's one step, like, with that shirt and those pyjama bottoms that you can't see he's wearing underneath. But just that, don't bother putting shoes on, head down the shops, hang out for a bit. Someone's bound to give you $10. You're going to have a better tip rate playing a fucking kazoo outside the mall in your socks than you would if you were fucking doing this on the internet. I would warrant. And if you want to take it one step further, if you want to suck dicks under the bridge, OIC is going to give you bundles.
Then now of this bullshit. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. I'm done with this nonsense. No, the internet was not a troll.
Someone contributed a super chat, you see. It elicits a response. That pigeon is going to keep pressing that button. If someone's going to give him $5.
Well, I was grouping a million things together there. Someone just says, the internet was a troll. No, it wasn't an internet troll.
See his language and the way he speaks. Oh, he's very quiet, of course, because he is. But the way he speaks, it wasn't a twat. Like, he falls into this infantile display because it worked on his parents. I really believe this. There's a narcissist in here. Steve knows all about it. We love talking to Steve about all sorts of things. I need to get, talking to Steve a bit more. He's been poorly, hasn't he? So I've been giving him a lot of space because you don't want to get too close to the poorly people because they might infect you. No, because he's like, recovering and stuff, and lots of people talking to him. But I'm not knocking the kazoo. The kazoo would be better than this. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather hear it. But like this, Phil turns into a big baby, and he uses his baby ways to get his monies. I think it's something he's learned through his life, and I think it works on people around him because he keeps people around him whom it works on, like Kat, like the people in his chat. It's not that many people, are there?
Anyway. But you understand what I'm saying. I'm just tired of it. Every time I feel like I'm ahead and I'm getting to a point where this is getting better, something fucks me.
So what you're saying is that, it's possible that that's the case. We know it's not. We know it's not. You're not saving the money. You're spending it on WWE champions. Phil's best bet at this point, if anyone's watching this from the DSP universe, look at this. Sell your game account. In fact, I'll put sell your WWE champ. This is Phil, right? Phil, you should be watching this. Champions game account, right? There's a website you can sell the fucking accounts on called Player Up. Player to player account marketplace. And you can sell this account, you can sell it. $3,000 they want for this account. I don't know what's on the roster. I don't know how it works, but Phil's put fucking loads of money into that. You could just buy it. Phil's best bet at this point is to get his account on one of these websites and hope to fucking God that there's a rich Saudi oil baron or prince that really wants a WWE Champions account, and he could sell it, and he could make, even if, right, I mean, I don't know how much he's got on his roster compared to what these have got, but even if he only gets $2,000, it's worth it at this point. Get out now, sell the account and get out now. Sort by price, high to low. $2,100 there, look. Sell the account and get out now. That's the best thing Phil should do for that.
It's like I'm cursed. I'm destined for fucking pain or something.
You own self-curse because you're spending that money on WWE Champions, not saving it, not creating any sustainability, not creating any sort of brandable content that could, like, attract... I mean, even at this point, I know he's one of the shittiest, worst people on the internet, but he legit could attract a sponsor because, like, there are legit shitty sponsors, but also... like, whether it be Raid Shadow Legends or anything, like, it's not that, but I think there are companies out there that could use Phil as a, like, I don't know, the way he's talking here, it'd be funny if he was sponsored by an insurance company, wouldn't it, that had a sense of humour, or something like that. Like, he could be sponsored by DoorDash. If they realised how constantly we talk about DoorDash in relation to Phil, they might see the humour in it and sponsor him. You know, he'd need to work a bit, but he could shoehorn in a sponsor in some way. The only problem is he's not getting the views to attract the sponsorship, really, is he? So the first thing I would say about Phil is he needs to completely rework his internet presence to attract regular views, like increasing numbers of routine, like not, you know, the people he's got at the moment, as he said, are not sustaining him. It's not sustainable. He can't even have a holiday or get sick or need to pay for a broken tyre. So at the moment, you might as well not be doing this. You might as well say we've got to start from scratch anyway. There's no argument to say that I should not change what I'm doing, because what you're doing is not good enough. You're saying so yourself. So it's not on the audience to give you another $200. What it is what you're doing is not right and not good enough and needs to change. And it doesn't need a small change with a little thing in the background, or maybe we play a different game next week. It needs a drastic overhaul.
Like, what the fuck did I ever do to deserve that every single time something else comes up, something else creeps up, something else creeps up? I'm done with it. So, matter of factly, yeah, this month, tips would be great. This month, if you tip me, and if people tip more this month, it'll make up for the fact that my YouTube payment will be less this month. But then what happens? You guys all tip me, and then I don't get contributions via memberships, via super chats, and then I get a low YouTube payment next month. And then
because it's the same people doing all of those different forms of contribution, and you're asking them to do several different forms. So you're better off fucking them all off and just having one form of contribution, whichever one gives you the best cut, because these people are doing what you tell them and giving you the money in the way that you're telling them. So you wanted memberships, they got you memberships. You wanted tips, they gave it you in tips. Like, take that one thing and just get it on coffee.com, where you get more of a cut, and just take a big cut off coffee.com and just say put everything in coffee.com. Put it all in one place. I don't care about memberships and anything else now. Now we're doing one thing. Focus it. There's a simple one. And that way you'll see how much money you get every month. Not memberships this month and tips next month and this and that. How much? And, like, look at it. You should be able to, after 15 years, look at it and just, whether there's line going up or line going down is an issue. Obviously, line going down is an issue. But you should be able to see what the bottom line is. Like the flat. Sometimes you have a good month. Sometimes you don't. What's the low ebb? You know, what's the low on that wave? The low point. That's your sort of, you know, that's what you're getting more regularly, other than the good months. So we need to investigate that to start with and see how much you've actually got to work with, and then we need to do a massive overhaul on your content.
it's a vicious cycle. It never fucking ends. It literally never fucking ends this way. You understand? Well, I'm gonna break the fucking cycle. I had enough of this shit.
Okay, so the first thing to do to break the cycle, Phil, we've all agreed on this, everyone agrees on this, is you are no longer playing, you're still a variety streamer if you want to be, but you are no longer playing a different game every fucking day. This morning we're playing Spider-Man, this afternoon we're playing Alan Wake. We're not doing that anymore. Now what we're doing is we're trying it. Listen, I don't care. We're trying it. You can go back if you feel you need to go back, but we're trying it. We're going to play one game all the way through from start to finish. Every stream is the same game, with the exception of maybe every fifth stream you can do a bit of a chill out, something else just for like a few games of Street Fighter just to chill out at the end of a big stream or something, yeah? But otherwise we're doing Alan Wake from start to finish, and You're there to enjoy the game more than anything. And through the process, what I want you to focus on as a gamer is drawing out interesting things to talk about, whether they be reflections of your own life through things that have happened in the game. That makes me remember that time my granddad took me fishing, or, you know, talk about an interesting story. With each stream that you do of a sequence of gameplay, I want to see some part of your soul, you know, come out in an interesting story, interesting hopefully. Or as well, you've got an extensive knowledge on video games, do a little bit of a impromptu review somewhere, you know, I'd say this mechanic is excellent, and not negative, not I'm a bitch, I'm fucking pissed off, I'm angry, this is pissing me off, I'm going to rave about it. But I see the joy in video games. This is a joy. This is a really clever bit of this game. It reminds me of this. And with that, once you've done that, clip that little bit. Just that little bit. From now on, we're not putting up 5 episodes of Alan Wake every day or whatever. You're putting up one big stream of you playing it all day, right? And then clipping the really interesting moments from it. Not the bits of video game where the video game was interesting, because everyone can see those on their own game, but the bits of you that were interesting. And that's the only 2 little clips of video we're doing for the day. And that means you don't have to fuck about with all these separate videos. You don't have to worry about your schedule. All that can go in the bin. You play the game all the way through, and when you're finished with it, you can move on to the next game. And I think that's going to make a drastic improvement, because I think that people are going to prefer to be able to follow the narrative of one game all the way through, with the occasional bit of off play, you know, relaxation. We're going to bin off this level 1 podcast as well. That's going, because you don't need it, because what we're doing today is we're playing Alan Wake. Let's go. Yeah. We're going to give that a couple of weeks, and if that doesn't make a difference, and I'm saying we're not deleting the streams, we're leaving the streams up. So at the end of today's stream, it stays up, and people can just watch the stream. And then on the Reacts channel, if you want to persist with that, we're drastically reworking that. From now on, the curated content is simple. It's whatever that you're going to look at the top trending videos on YouTube, and you're going to react to the top trending videos on YouTube. If they're sports, okay, you're allowed to skip it, but, you know, anything that falls in your ballpark, maybe just the gaming section, the top trending videos, that's your React content. You're going to react to it in one long stream, make it private members only. That's the membership bit. They get to watch the stream after hours, whenever, and the clips are going to appear, but they're not going to be like episodic, like all of this video and everything. It's just going to be a little clip of this like 3-minute point I made about this one thing. Bang, a clip. Again, 1 or 2 clips, and we just leave it at that and move on. And you'll find you've got loads more time in your life to do other stuff. As that money starts to accrue because you're streaming, having to do less, I mean, I'm sure the money's going to come in. We're going to stop you spending on WWE Champions, and you're going to use that money to pay an editor, or even pay half the money to an editor. You're going to get an editor, and then that editor's going to start editing your stuff, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. And then we just need to move on to your personality. But the workflow, I think that simple change will make a drastic difference, to be honest. But you have to persist with it, Phil. You can't say, well, I did it for 2 weeks. People stopped watching my Alan Wake. I'm fed up and I'm done. If you're relying on new releases and new video games, if that's what's going to make your stream popular, if it has to be that this week there's a new game and we play it, then you might as well, again, you might as well stop now. You might as well throw it in the bin, because there's always going to be a new game and it's never going to be enough.
Contribute however you want. I don't care how you do it. I don't. Anything is appreciated, because you guys are so awesome, and I understand that not everyone can tip. Not everyone likes using PayPal. Not everyone likes doing that. Not everyone can afford that or do that. Maybe you can just every once in a while become a member or gift a membership. Do that too, right? Do a super chat. Do nothing. Do fucking nothing. If you can't, it's fine. Like a video, leave a comment, do whatever you can. But I'm not gonna sit here and talk about this all fucking day anymore. I've had enough. I don't want to I'm tired of this bullshit. I really am. Enough is enough. I'm taking control of the situation right fucking now. Fuck all this nonsense and all this insane nonsense that thinks is going to dictate my life and what the fuck I do on my streams. Fuck you. Every one of these fucking losers out there who thinks that they know shit, go fuck yourselves and kiss my fucking ass and eat my shit. Alright? As of right now, I'm taking control. Alright? Support however you want.
What control are you taking? You're just going to continue on the same fucking hamster wheel of shit. Like, you're out of control. The only control you have is that you've scheduled in your fucking chaos to regular routine format streams. There is no control you have.
Please do. Alright? Because support is what makes me who I am today. If without your support, I would not be here today. I would not be able to make the content that I make, and you guys know that, all right? But I'm not going to sit here and say, we're doing a special fundraising marathon. We're going to try to make up for the fact that I was sick at the end of October. We're going to do a Beggathon where, hey, tip me and do this and do that. We're not doing that. It's business as usual here on DSP Gaming. We play games, we have fun. If you guys like it, you support it. Please do. Please understand.
Right, I didn't realise that your special events were specifically fundraising events. I thought they were special events to have fun with the audience. But now it seems that whilst we all knew they were cloaked, you know, fun, it was begging cloaked as fun, shots for money. Like, it turns out that you are doing those just for the big influx of money. And because you're cross because you don't want to do the Halloween event because you missed it, now you're not doing it. So we're not doing that. But you still want the money. Got it.
I am set back thousands of dollars now because of what just happened at the end of October. No exaggeration. Is there a way to make that up? Sure. Some extra tips. But I can't make you do that.
Sure, there's a way to make up the thousands of dollars that I'm behind. Extra tips. Are you insane? I can't make you do it, but come on. Like, pull your finger out. I need thousands of dollars here. I bought a new sign and been ordering my food from the supermarket and getting the DoorDash, and I'm cross about the supermarket, and I got those tablets that I wanted, and I've been playing my mobile game, putting money into that. But I am thousands of dollars behind, so you will need to pull your finger out.
Or am I going to sit here and beg and demand it every day? Fuck that shit. I'm going to play games and have fun, and if what comes in, and we go from there.
Okay, you just repeated that several times, so when do you start playing the games and having fun? Because at the moment it seems like you're doing exactly the thing you said you wouldn't.
And I guess if I take 10 steps back because of this fucking illness, I take 10 steps back financially, and I get screwed for months and months.
It was YouTube, it was detractors, it was machinima. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Pity party. Nonsense.
It takes a year to recover back to where I was before this happened. I guess so be it. I'm not going to sit here and bitch about it all day. I'm tired of being a fucking victim. I'm tired of putting up with this shit. I really am.
Here's an option. Sell the car. You don't need it. Where'd you go? Cat can get the bus to work.
I'm not doing it no more. No more of these fuckers gonna do, you know, try to dictate my fucking life to me and say what I say and do and all this bullshit, you know. Enough is fucking enough. Alright? So, done deal. Fuck this. We're back to business. We're back to gaming and loving what we do. Loving games, loving everything. Every day here is going to be a fun gaming atmosphere, interactions, good times, good vibes.
Yeah, it sounds like it. See what I mean? So I wanted to show you that one because that was just a fucking awful, awful beg, wasn't it? Awful. Exactly perfect, Angel, yeah. How has he been streaming this long, made this much money, and one weekend, 1 month off, he's done? It's ridiculous. And like I said, my point here is that to any reasonable person, like Phil with his business degree, you should step back and say, okay, so I've had this one little fall off, but everything's crumbled. So wise man builds his house upon the rocks. Maybe continuing down this path is not a good idea. Like, it seems like it's not sustainable. It seems like it's fragile, and it seems like if you just keep doing it, because life's going to throw something else at you, like that's going to happen, then what? You're not prepared, and you can't be prepared unless someone gives you £1,000 in tips. So that's not going to happen. So now what? Like, this is the fragile denial. I mean, the solid denial of the narcissist. Like, he's in such denial that he will sit on stream and tell you that what he's doing is not sustainable financially, and then insist that we are going to just carry on as we are, no changing, gameplay, fun, let's go. Until the next time something happens and my life falls apart, I refuse to change. So what's the point? What are you trying to say? You're trying to say that basically nothing here is going to change. I just need you to give me more money. And I'm going to need you to give it me like with a 0 on the end, because this ain't, you know, you're going to need to pull your finger out and give me more money. Did he get divorced? I don't think he's getting divorced. No, I think that I'm team health coin. I'm team health. I think that there was probably some sort of death in Phil's family, or a grandparent or an uncle or someone like that either died or had a stroke. The driving aspect of having to drive places, I wonder whether he had to go somewhere to do some sort of dealing with something legal, like a will or something like that, maybe. Reading of a will, like, or I don't know, like, because he's not going to drive home to Connecticut, is he? Like, I don't know how far Connecticut and Washington is, but he could drive somewhere, get a flight, be there for one day, come back, like, and it could be a lot of travel, and he didn't want to say flying because then everyone would know he'd gone to Connecticut. I can't remember the exact timeline of, you know, back then when he first started complaining, but I'm team health. I think that there's, and the crying over Spider-Man as well. It was brought up that he was crying over Spider-Man when the relationship, a lady, you know, Spider-Man's relationship, or this old man's relationship was brought up. But what I read into it was the old man was recounting the stories of his youth, and that it was about this sort of grandfatherly sort of figure, and Phil was sort of moved to tears by the reminiscence and the death. So I think that, yeah, crying over Spider-Man, yeah. I think, I mean, I'm saying that I cry over Genshin Impact sometimes. They do emotional things in the game and it makes you feel emotional and you relate it to your life. But Phil wouldn't tell us what the reason was. You know, it's just like, I'm being stupid crying over Spider-Man. It's just an emotional thing. Like, but a lot of people think Cat, you know, gone, divorce, all this. I'm not, I think the relationship has been dead a long time ago, but like, they're in a sort of strange, like, she is happy enough in her situation, I guess. You know, they're never going to have like Phil's not going to do any better, so he's not going to try and get out of that. And I think Cat feels similar, I don't know. But the point is that I think health is the issue, and not his health, somebody else's, that is close enough to him that he should feel sad about it. But that's why he was able to sort of say, I'm not talking about it, I'm not doing it. Like, most things as well would involve, like, the only reason that it's divorce high up on the agenda is because most things he would make a big thing of and elicit pity for, try and get money from. But I think with this, it might be the situation where, for example, if his mother had had a stroke and was now being cared for, that might require some sadness on Phil's part, but also, like, he wouldn't want them to call the care home, and he wouldn't want them to troll, you know, the fact of this happening, so he'd just keep it all under wraps. So I think it might be something like that, where someone's health is in question, jeopardy, or maybe even, like I say, I don't know about Phil's grandparents, but maybe he recently lost someone, and he just wants to keep it all under wraps and not turn it into a begathon, because, like, I don't think his emotional attachment to it would be such that he could understand how to utilise it as content, really. So I think he just keeps it out of the way. And with Cat, like, he mentioned a couple, it's easy to say, oh, he's lying, oh, he's making that up, but he mentioned a couple of things like, you know, I'm glad that I can go through this problem and have my wife still by my side. So that to me said that she was there rather than wasn't, and he was making it up. And I think, I don't know, I think she's decided, I think they have problems in their relationship. I think that as well. I think you could also make an argument for team relationship counselling or something. Because I think he started to make a bit of an effort a little while ago, and then that's gone down the pan again. I don't know, yeah.
No negativity, no sick shit with fucking people telling me I'm lazy. Too much work. Too much work. I just was sick as a dog for the last week, and someone just said it's too much work for me to do the marathon. And then they weren't man enough to come back and apologize, so, okay.
That's one of his actual supporters who got binned off because they literally wrote the phrase too much work, and they said they meant it as in, yeah, it's too much work, you shouldn't be doing that because you're poorly. But it is too much work, because all he had to do is sit in front of the camera and just eat pizza and play video games. Like, even if he's poorly, like, you can't cry that you didn't do the event and also have the power to have done the event. Like, it's all your own choices. It's not like somebody's banned you from Halloween. You could do it now. You could be doing it now instead of this podcast. So there's no way you can cry about it.
Too much fucking work. Well, you do a fucking day of work in your life and you tell me about how it's too much fucking work.
I mean, you're doing loads of, do you know what I mean? What a horrible, horrible man. Telling people in chat, why don't you do a fucking day of work in your life? But you want them to do the work so they can give you the money, yeah?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for shout outs now. All right, and then we will get to gaming, I promise you, but it's super late on the podcast.
and you make all your own decisions, and you've been talking about this and wasting time. So no wonder people don't want to watch you. You fucking knob. Yeah, I'll cut that there and leave that on up for YouTube. So I just wanted to show you that, like, you know, how bad Alan is and how bad Phil is. It's very similar, isn't it?